feel the excitement. It's time to hit the hardwood for today's game. Buckle up, Wildcat fans. It's about to get crazy. Now it's time to turn it over to the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Torello, on the Cat Eye Radio Network.
Well, live from Moore Gymnasium on the campus of Bethune-Cookman University in downtown Daytona Beach, Florida. It's time for another SWAC basketball contest featuring the Wildcats of Bethune-Cookman and the Devilettes of Mississippi Valley State, as we have our first home conference doubleheader today here at Moore Gymnasium. Hello and a very warm welcome. My name is Michael Torello. Happy to have your company. Sabrina Petit-Home joins me at the broadcast desk. Sabrina, great to be back again. Second day of this opening weekend of conference action, and a good doubleheader in prospect today for the Wildcats.
Yes, super excited, expecting another full gym this evening as the women's and men's goes against Mississippi Valley.
It's time to get right into our Southeast Toyota dealers' keys to the game. What do you got for us?
Okay, for B-CU women's basketball team, keys to the game, and the first one goes out to them, is to stay focused and do not underestimate Mississippi Valley. Regardless of the score, like we had spoke about last game, it's still anybody's game. When you go back and at our last game, the key points of their aggressiveness throughout the game was not really there within our Wildcats, so I'm expecting to see that from the beginning to the end. We don't want to be no fourth quarter champions. We want to be from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. The second keys to the game will go to Mississippi Valley. I really think they should stay to play fundamental basketball, stick to what they know, and continue to do less turnovers. Basic basketball, continue to do layups, stay inside the paint, watch out for 3 points, the 3 seconds as well, though. But that's the keys to the game.
Those were your keys to the game presented by your Southeast Toyota dealers.
At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Lease a new 2024 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for $389 a month for 36 months. Offer valid through February 3rd, 2025. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $36.88 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax tag registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
When you look at these two teams, the records may not jump off the page. Bethune-Cookman 5-11, 2-2 in the SWAC after their win on Thursday night in dramatic fashion against Arkansas Pine Bluff, with Janessa Kelly netting the game winner with 4 seconds to go. Mississippi Valley 2-14, 1-4 in the SWAC. Their only non-conference win, a home win against Troy back in early December. Their conference win, a home win against Prairie View A&M last weekend. They are 0-12 on the road, and the hardships continue for Mississippi Valley State women's basketball. Their head coach, Kimberly Anderson, who was in her 3rd season, is no longer with the team. Interim head coach Jason James, the former men's and women's head coach at Allen University, takes the reins. And also, their star, Shadiamond McKnight, continues to be out. This will be her 9th game missed in a row with an injury. Now the player to watch, who will be on the court tonight for Valley, is Diana Maxey. The junior from Atlanta, Georgia, and transfer from Indian River Community College, leads the team in points with 159 and rebounds at 61. That's 3.8 per game. She leads the team in rebounds as a 5'7" guard. And this Mississippi Valley State team, Sabrina, lacks a little bit in height. Their tallest player just 6'1". How does that give the Wildcats an advantage this afternoon?
Well, if the Wildcats stay focused and stay level-headed, that gives them the advantage because they'll be the one running the court. They'll be able to play at their pace. The Mississippi Valley would have to be able to, change that energy if they get to play at their pace. We have height, so rebound, defensively, offensively-wise, I apologize. In the paint, we should be able to rebound, and we should be able to make our layups.
For the Wildcats, they've changed up the starting lineup a little bit from the team that defeated Arkansas Pine Bluff on Thursday night. Damani Dorsey starts at the guard position. At the other guard position, it is Janessa Kelly, the hero from Thursday, gets a start, the freshman from Pompano Beach, Florida. They're running a 3-guard setup in the starting lineup tonight with the other freshman, Jordan Brooks, manning the point. The 2 forwards, maybe not who you would think. Aisha Nicholson continues to be an ever-present in the starting lineup as she leads this team in both points and rebounds, 11.4 and 10.3 respectively. That rebounding mark, the best in the Southwestern Athletic Athletic Conference. But Kayla Clark starts on the bench this afternoon in favor of Chanel McDonald, who played her first game back from injury on Thursday night. Only played about 6 minutes, only had 2 points. This is a big step for Coach Creighton Del Rosario to put McDonald, in the starting lineup.
Well, going against a team like Mississippi Valley, I think this is pretty much the game to, test your players out, to see what fits, what's the chemistry like, and see who plays with each other the best, with chemistry to advance the team forward. Now, we don't want to, jump ahead of ourselves when it comes to Mississippi Valley. Although, we are a better team statistically on paper, we still don't know what this game might bring. It's just like the Arkansas game. We were better than Arkansas statistically on paper, but it was still very much a close game to the end.
And you would think the Wildcats would have learned their lesson on Thursday night about overlooking teams with poor records, because Arkansas Pine Bluff gave them all they could handle, and you do not want to be locked in a battle with a team like Mississippi Valley, who is scrappy as all get out. They love to play defense.
Absolutely.
They love to steal the ball. They're averaging just under 10 steals per game, although Shadama McKnight, who hasn't played the last 8 games, remember, still leads this team in steals on the season. So they're losing their talisman defensively, but still a team with a defensive mindset, just like the Wildcats.
Absolutely. On a positive note, I got to speak to a couple of the players in pregame. They do look very locked in, so I'm excited to see if they, learn their lesson from last game and are able to apply it to this game here.
Just to run you through the rest of the Mississippi Valley State starting lineup, Deanna Maxey, as I mentioned, is starting at the guard position. With Shadama McKnight out, Jayla Reed comes into the starting lineup, the transfer from Southern Arkansas Tech. Jada Murphy, the freshman, gets the start from Chicago, Illinois, a 5'3" guard, as well as Serenity Eccles, a 5'10" guard from Memphis, Tennessee. And in the lone forward position, 4 guards, 1 forward in the starting lineup for Valley this evening, is Kiara Jones, another freshman from Madison, Wisconsin. And something I want to highlight is, we're going to get into this a lot, there are some synergies on this Valley team that are carried over from previous teams, whether that be high school, previous colleges, or AAU ball. A lot of these players have played together before they got to Mississippi Valley. Bethune-Cookman in the gold, Mississippi Valley in the green. The clock did not start, so we'll try again. Anxious beginnings all around here at Moore Gymnasium. Thank you for joining us, Michael Turillo, Sabrina Petit-Home, our producer Lee, the rest of our student broadcast crew are here on the Cat Eye Network, bringing you the first of 2 this afternoon. The men's team set to face Mississippi Valley at approximately 5:30 this evening after this game wraps up. But this game, according to the scoreboard, hasn't even really begun, because there's still 10 minutes to go on the first quarter clock, even though we've had the tip.
It's a little chilly in here. Hopefully we'll be able to warm it up with some good basketball.
Yeah, it was warm by more gym standards in here on Thursday. We got in here today and went, oh no, I'm glad I've got my jacket today. Here's Jayla Reed missing on her first shot, and the ball will go to the Wildcats out of bounds.
You definitely see the defensive-wise, Mississippi Valley has been running it so far very well in the 2-3.
And I want to highlight this. The Wildcats are only averaging 39.2 field goal percentage against. That's best in the SWAC. Here's Chanel McDonald, kicks it to the corner. They pass over the zone and a travel. We had so many travels on Thursday, and here we go again. I saw you reaching for your pad to start tallying them.
Getting my tally out.
Yeah, Shanae Nicholson travels with the basketball. But the end of my point about the Wildcats being so great defensively is Arkansas Pine Bluff on Thursday night couldn't miss. They almost shot 60% from the floor.
Yeah, and it was the most wildest shots as well, too.
Layup no good. Good defense by Ajanet. Let's see how the 2 freshman guard lineup works. Here's Jordan Brooks back to Nicholson. She'll fire, and it goes off the top of the rim. No good. Bunch of players crash to the ground. It'll be Valley ball. I don't think even a foul was called there. Nope, no foul. So both teams trepidatious on the offensive side to begin this one. Again, when Bethune-Cookman plays basketball, don't expect a lot of points. They don't score a lot, and they don't give up a lot.
They make you work for it. That's one thing for sure.
And Valley gives up a lot. They don't score a lot. Damani Dorsey on the floor, open three for Reed, no good. And the rebound comes down to Valley. Eccles back to Maxey. She shovels to the corner. Triple on the way from Murphy, no good. And out of bounds, it'll stay with Valley. Last touched by Chanel McDonald. As already we see changes for the Wildcats.
Yep, keeping them fresh. But no points have been made so far, which is honestly a little bit surprising. You know, I was hoping for at least a 2 or 3 from the Wildcats, but it's still 0-0.
The Wildcats have only had the 1 field goal attempt.
Yeah.
To the 3 for Mississippi Valley so far. You mentioned rebounding.
I'm hoping to see some of that.
And we didn't see a ton of it from the Wildcats, especially on the defensive glass.
At all, but, you know, Janessa Kelly came through last game at the last minute with the putback. Exactly what we're looking for.
But a team in the Wildcats that is 3rd in a conference in rebounds per game, they got out-rebounded by a team in Arkansas Pine Bluff that is not great at rebounding, at least statistically. So something to clean up for Coach Creighton Del Rosario as we have a stoppage at play here early in this one.
Mississippi Valley looks very locked in as, you know, they're talking to each other.
Still looking for our first point scored in this one. 8:38 to go, first quarter. That's a nice backdoor cut by Maxey, and Valley's on the board first.
I think one thing about the Wildcats is that I think they need that other team to score that one to fire them up.
Down low, Langston. Here's Kelly from the corner, no good. Long rebound, Asian tracks it down. Langston, mid-range pull-up, no. I'd like to see the Wildcats try and get to the paint. They haven't really driven it all early on.
But I do love the attempts of rebounding.
That one caroms off a couple of Wildcats and deflects out of bounds, stays with Valley.
Keeping them fresh.
And something I want to see the Wildcats do better today than they did on Thursday is hustle back on defense. There were so many times where they just got lazy, either after missed shots or turnovers, and that led to easy runouts on the other end for Pine Bluff. And this is a Valley team that will take advantage of every single one of those opportunities.
Especially for a win.
More delays early on as Kira Jones was getting her shoelace tied up.
Mississippi Valley is keeping up with the
Baseline
Wildcats.
drive, Maxey. She's the danger threat. She's got all 4 early points for the Devilettes. Nobody on this team that is active is scoring more than 10 points a game for Valley. Of course, Shadiman McKnight out. She was their only double-digit scorer. Deanna Maxey close, 9.9 a game. Kayla White skips it across and blocked. Good job by Jones to get out to Dorsey on the triple, and then a double dribble will give the ball right back to the Wildcats. Actually, Shomari Phillips was the one to take that last 3 for Bethune-Cookman.
To circle back on what you said about the 2 newcomers are guarding up on top of the key, they supply 52.9% of the Wildcats scoring this season, with 2 of the top 4 scorers being Nicholson and Kelly. So that's really interesting to see.
Kayla White trapped. Dorsey back to White. And just a 2-man game with Dorsey at the top. Down low, Nicholson. And finally, the Wildcats are on the board almost 3 minutes into the game.
Did you see the defense for Mississippi Valley? The synchronized center, like I said, they are not letting the Wildcats up at all. No shots. They have to work for that.
And the Wildcats are trying to pass through the zone, which is one of the ways to beat a zone. But you got to get the ball into the paint. You've got the size advantage, especially with Ajane Nicholson. Here's Maxey trapped in the corner. Back out Murphy. Jones on the drive. She's fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line. And one thing Mississippi Valley does very well is shoot free throws. They're 3rd in the conference in free throw percentage at 68.2. And Jada Murphy, who will head to the line now, the freshman from Chicago, is 66.7% from the charity stripe. Still no Kayla Clark in the ballgame yet. We've seen basically every other big so far except for the freshman Maya Johnson as Cassandra Hawthorne comes in for the Wildcats. I wonder if there is some injury problem going on with Kayla Clark. First free throw good for Murphy. Played her high school ball at Homewood Flossmoor High School in Chicago. And was an AAU teammate of Kiara Jones, who's on the floor with her right now. They both played for Legends United.
Love whenever we have some history behind these players. As you could definitely see, the Mississippi Valley falls back into a 3-2. The best thing I could recommend the Wildcats to do when they see their opponents fall into that defense is to drive.
Stolen away by Maxey. She
Double
passes
team.
to Reed, and Reed scores, and it is 8-2 Mississippi Valley. I'm honestly surprised that we haven't seen a timeout yet from Coach Del Rosario.
This is exactly what I was talking about, of not underestimating Mississippi Valley. Their defense are making the Wildcats fight for it.
Offensive foul, push off. Called against the Wildcats, given back to Valley. It's already 8-2 Devilettes, 5:59 to go. And not even yesterday did the Wildcats seem this frustrated on offense with this zone.
No, not at all.
You were starting to say, how do you beat the zone before that steal?
Yes.
How would you beat that zone?
If I sling my opponents down into a 3-2, the only way that I see that we would be able to beat the zone is to drive. Because driving, they're going to have to double team us, and then that's where we draw the fouls, and that's where the points are going to come from. Defensive-wise, Mississippi Valley is absolutely beating us, so we need to be able to beat them back.
Wildcats swarming to the ball. Valley keeps possession, 8 to shoot. Maxey looking for the pick and roll,
Nice
and it's
steal.
taken away by McDonald. In transition go the Cats. Shamari Phillips was looking for the three-pointer, but they'll run the offense. Down low it goes. Here's
Nice.
Cassandra Hawthorne, and the transfer from Coppin State gets the bucket.
Now, last game we were talking about Hawthorne herself, but wasn't really showing much of herself. It's really exciting to see that she's finding her rhythm and being back in the game and playing her usual self.
Little pick and roll, and that's going to send Jones to the free throw line. Second trip for Valley.
Now, we may not know what plays Mississippi Valleys are running, but you can definitely tell that it's being ran correctly because every single time they're finding their way down to that basket. We need to be able to beat them defensively.
And they're doing a good job of rolling off the screens, whether that be screen and rolls, pick and rolls, because the Wildcats aggressively double and blitz those screens.
Yeah.
So Valley is exploiting that weakness in this aggressive Wildcats defense. And no good on the first free throw from Jones. As I mentioned, a teammate with Jada Murphy at the AAU level. Has started the last 8 games straight, the freshman from Madison, Wisconsin. One of my favorite notes that I got when preparing for this game was that she played at Madison East High School, whose mascot is the Pure Golders. As I think we're going to have a lane violation and a reshot on that second free throw. Yep, they got Dorsey for going into the lane too early.
Now we got to watch out with these basic, rules in basketball. These travelings, 3 lane violations. These are something that we should definitely keep up with. These delays of the games.
And already down 4 halfway through the first quarter. Now down 5. That's a free point you've given back to Valley. Dorsey picks up her dribble. Brooks on the drive. Kick out Phillips. In it goes, and McDonald is going to be fouled.
But she's going to get those free throws every time.
So now McDonald will head to the free throw line. 13 of 21 on the season. Remember, McDonald missed a good chunk of the non-conference schedule as we've hit the first media timeout of the game. Introducing Hoops Homecoming. Come reconnect with friends, alums, and all the Wildcat faithful over some B-CU basketball on Saturday, February 1st, as the Cats host a doubleheader against Alabama State. featuring tailgating, vendors, a live DJ, food, and more. You won't want to miss this one-of-a-kind event. Get your tickets today at bcuathletics.com/tickets. Sabrina, a slow start for the Wildcats, kind of like last time out on Thursday. Again, the defense doesn't look bad, but offensively, they just can't get a look.
No, I think we're really cold, like just as cold as we are in, more gymnasium. We really just need to start firing up, basically. I don't want us to be a fourth quarter champion like we had said earlier before. It's very important that we find that fire as soon as tip-off comes out, because it doesn't matter what team we go against, we cannot give them the advantage of beating us within the first quarter. And they are beating us offensively and defensive-wise. Down low, when we're on offense, they are in their face giving the pressure for the ball, just like how they did with Arkansas.
Valley's coming off of a 88-60 loss at Florida A&M on Thursday, but before that, they picked up their second win of the year, a 69-52 win over Prairie View at home. So this is not the same Mississippi Valley team as years previous, where they're just going to roll over to anybody. And they actually got a good non-conference win against Troy, winning by 1 in December. Here's Chanel McDonald at the free throw line. The Warner transfer last year. Two-time first-team All-Sun Conference, and the 2021 Freshman of the Year in that conference. Last year, she started all 31 games for the Wildcats, the only player to do so. And averaged just shy of a double-double, 9 points, 9 boards. So getting her back from injury, very crucial to this team. And it seems like everybody for the Wildcats is back healthy, as we were waiting to see Kayla Clark at the 5. She's in for the first time.
Yes, let's see if she can pick up this game.
Had a 14-point, 11-board double-double last night.
Running a 2-3 correctly with the defense, and they're running it correctly. That's the type of pressure that I was talking about earlier, seeing them in their faces.
The Wildcats switch up their defense. It's an open corner 3 for Maxey, and it's good.
Not letting up.
And it's a 6-point lead for Valley. Diana Maxey's got 7 of her team's 12. Hawthorne bottled up, throws it out to Brooks. She didn't catch that pass cleanly.
Now, one thing that I could definitely really hope that happens is that when
Clark on the drive, on the floater, and the bucket.
I really do hope that Hawthorne takes that chance and drives. It's like she second-guesses herself as soon as she gets that ball down there. It may not look like it's open, but I really do feel like she can make it open, create an opening.
Wildcats switch back to man on this possession. That's a mismatch. Maxey against Clark. And Clark does enough. Thought she actually might get the foul call there. Maxey spills on the ground, but no whistle. Here is Hawthorne at the free throw line.
Do you see what I mean, where she hesitates?
She puts it up and got it.
I want her to drive, though. Glad she made that too, but I really do want her to drive.
Now, she picked up the dribble that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Trying to get some of these Mississippi Valley players in foul trouble. When you have 6 players unavailable already, that's a short bench for Valley.
Absolutely. We also want to make sure that they're not getting tired out. That would be an advantage for the Wildcats for sure.
On the baseline, good deflection by Hawthorne.
I am so glad that she's playing right now.
And then a reach-in foul called against Kira Jones as Brooks trying to escape up the floor. As Asian Nicholson comes back in for the Wildcats, we'll see who she replaces. It's Cassandra Hawthorne. If this is your first time watching Bethune-Cookman women's basketball this season, I called them hockey line changes on Thursday night. It feels like it.
That was a good one. In, one and out.
It feels like every stoppage of play, at least one player's coming in and out, sometimes 2 or 3 or 4.
I think it's a great way to make sure that everybody on the bench gets some time on the court, but, we want to make sure that
Nicholson, great move.
Exactly. That's exactly what I want to see. Catch it and drive. Especially if they're in your face like that.
Her defender, Aaliyah Durenham, was caught way in the air out by the free throw line.
So quick with it. Nice.
Shovel pass picked off by the Wildcats. Now Bethune-Cookman's flowing. A chance to take their first lead of the game.
I would not be mad if...
Kayla Clark drives, puts it up, no good. But a foul going to be called on Nicholson for following through. That's a silly foul if you're Asian A.
It really was. But honestly, on a positive note, I would not be mad if she got Defensive Player of the Year.
We thought she may have been in the conversation the last couple years, Kayla Clark, but it's always gone to whatever big is in Jackson State. I mean, Angel Jackson the last couple of years has been an absolute monster. Bad pass.
That's what I'm looking for. Ball. That pressure. We could definitely see they're warming up.
And then the pressure forced the bad pass, but Durham was wide open on the baseline. A better pass from Maxey, and that's an easy bucket.
Maybe being able to see the court better, read their players.
Just over 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 12-12, a low-scoring game. Valley jumped out to an early lead, and the Wildcats have pinned them back through plays like this from Asian A. Nicholson.
Mike, what did I just say? If they catch and drive every time, they're going to be able to make it into the basket. And
what do you want to bet? That's what Coach Creighton talked about during that timeout. Because after the timeout, they've been aggressively driving to the paint.
And you can see the fire being ignited back. And as you can tell, I'm so sorry, 30 is at the line now, about to come up.
Deep three, straight on, no good for Durham. Check that read, and then the Wildcats turn it over. Nicholson straight up, but can't prevent the bucket from Murphy. That is just a simple mistake by the Wildcats. Here's Janessa Kelly, who had the game winner on Thursday night. Dorsey stepped out of bounds.
We got to talk about those little mistakes, Mike. Those lane violations, traveling. Those small mistakes can cost us a game. We don't want them to pile up.
Both freshmen come out for the Wildcats at the guard position, and we see the tallest player on either team, the 6'4" Mia Harden, come in for Valley. 3 on the way for Reed. Good. 17-14 Devilettes. They've hit 2 outside shots in this first quarter. The Wildcats 0 for.
55 seconds left on the clock, 14-7, and we're down 3.
Wildcats shooting 54% from the floor in this first quarter. 0 for 2 from 3, though.
They're not driving again.
Clark trapped on the baseline, back to Dorsey. With 8 to shoot, here's Nicholson. She drives and she's fouled.
Drawing the fouls like we talked about earlier in the game. They're going to foul us. So if we use that as the advantage and take it to the line every time, we only need to worry about making those free throws and collecting those points.
Thank you for joining us here on the Cat Eye Network. First of a doubleheader today. The men will play Mississippi Valley at around 5:30. Second trip to the free throw line for the Wildcats in this first quarter. Chanel McDonald went 2 of 2. Now here's Asian A. Nicholson, the transfer from Alabama A&M, who's pacing the Wildcats in points per game at 11.4 and the entire SWAC in rebounds per game at 10.3.
Oh.
Again, she had an off night last night, just 6 points, 8 boards. But again, the Wildcats found a way to win. She's off on both free throws, but she gets her own miss. Goes straight back up with it, misses it. Clark travels.
Now, I was looking for Mia Harden, but her jersey says number 33, but on here
she says 44, so.
Change the jerseys up a little bit.
And that can happen,
yeah.
Right? And on teams like Mississippi Valley, like Bethune-Cookman, with not a lot of income for jerseys, you wear a different jersey home and away because that's what you have.
I've been in that position before.
I think anybody who's played high school sports has been in that position.
Absolutely.
Wildcats bring the press.
Not breaking it correctly.
Wide open is Jones, and she missed the shot. Nicholson flies in out of nowhere for the rebound.
Such a well-versed player, I could definitely tell you that. And
15 left in the first quarter. Here's a corner 3 from Janessa Kelly. No. Nicholson again there on a bounce, but the rebound comes to her opposite number, Jones, who throws it up. No good. 4.9 on the clock. Didn't have to take that.
On a positive note, though, Mike, I have seen the Wildcats crash the boards more times than I did see them crash the boards during Arkansas, and I am so happy for that.
4 seconds left. Jordan Brooks into the front court, puts up a shot. It isn't good. And the Wildcats trail by 3 at the end of the first quarter. Not where we thought we would be at the end of the first quarter. Kind of like we were on Thursday. We thought we'd be free and clear ahead of Arkansas Pine Bluff, but the Lions stay with us, and the Devilettes out shooting the Wildcats, especially from deep. 2 of 5 from beyond the arc for Mississippi Valley. 0 of 3 for the Wildcats. Doing a good job underneath, though. The Wildcats 6 of 12 from the floor. They're getting their buckets from driving to the paint and throwing it up off the glass, especially Ajane Nicholson, who's got 6. Cassandra Hawthorne's got 4. McDonald and Clark have 2 for the Wildcats. For Mississippi Valley, Maxey's got 7. Reed has 5. Jones has 3. And Murphy has 2. Do you love Bethune-Cookman University sports? Of course you do. Then don't miss Hail Wildcats Radio, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of all 15 Wildcat sports programs. Hosted by Voice of the Wildcats, Michael Trevillo, and featuring the expertise of sports information directors Bryce Hoynoski and Brian Harvey. Hail Wildcats Radio delivers unparalleled coverage of your favorite teams. Tune in to 1380 WELE Daytona Beach every Thursday, an hour before the women's basketball game, so you catch the show live. That's Thursday at 6 p.m. Or listen anytime on your favorite podcast platform. Sabrina, 1 quarter down. The Wildcats staring at a 3-point deficit, and they were held scoreless over the last 158, with Valley going on a 5-0 run.
Yeah, I'm really hoping to see a little bit more control within the second quarter. Now that the first quarter is over, we saw what mistakes that wasn't working for us. It's time to clean up, you know. Mississippi Valley, they know exactly what to do, and especially with a short bench, they're very locked in on what they have to do to make sure that they're getting to the right places that they need to be. The Wildcats need to lock in as well, too.
Maxey, as advertised, right? 7 points, had that 3. She's been all over the place.
But Ajane, she definitely has been all over with the boards as well, with rebounding, crashing those boards.
6 points, 5 boards in the first quarter.
First quarter. I can only imagine how much it's going to be at the end.
Wildcats start with the ball in the all gold. Valley in the green as we start the second quarter. 17-14 Devilettes over Wildcats. Nicholson outside. Brooks, a deep 3 short. Nicholson grabs the rebound. And Nicholson got clattered into by Harden. That's going to be an off-the-ball foul.
That was a very, very well foul needed.
It's not easy to get the 5'10" Ajane Nicholson to fly through the air like that on contact. But Mia Harden, 6'4", a solid presence in the post defensively. The Wildcats will have to work around that. Harden in there to prevent those big drives that the Wildcats have liked to employ in that first quarter. Wildcats have tried to shoot the outside shot. Hasn't worked at all, 0 for 4.
We see the same thing that is happening before, where they're not throwing the ball down low and driving. You need to be able to kick them out.
Mid-ranger Kelly, no. Nicholson, another rebound. 2 seconds to get a shot up. Brooks didn't know it. The initial shot didn't hit the rim, and it's a shot clock violation.
Yep. Those little things that we have to be aware of. Got to start kicking it back down to the paint. We need to have some paint presence down there to make those little layups. They're back to the man.
It's hard with Harden in there.
Yeah.
As we see the freshman Maya Johnson come in for the Wildcats. Hand check foul called on Jordan Brooks. A lot more fouls being called in this game than there were in Thursday's game. The Wildcats finished that game with no player having more than 1 foul.
And that was a sight to see, but, you know, different games,
different referee crews,
yep.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see them fall back into a zone, because we definitely saw earlier in the first quarter that was helping them out, boxing out Mississippi Valley.
Wildcats back in man for the moment. Harden top of the key. Step back 3. No good at the end of the shot clock. And the rebound is grabbed by Johnson. Kayla White drives, kicks. Shamari Phillips catch and shoot. It's off the mark. And a foul by Harden as she grabbed Johnson as she was going for that rebound.
Harden needs to be careful, because she could foul out in the third quarter if she keeps going like this.
That's only her first.
Only first. Oh, okay.
So,
I would take that back.
but again, Valley does have to be careful.
We have a very short bench.
Wide open Phillips from the corner. No good again. Johnson battling for it. Harden grabs it and shovels it away to Maxey. Maxey running against Phillips. Almost lost the ball. Back out McCullers. No good on the three. Nicholson the rebound.
Again. Rebound queen.
Both teams working hard, but no points coming.
Nice pass.
Nicholson, a floater, a bucket. But again, I'd like to see her drive that.
Yes, absolutely. We love to make, but I don't want them to second guess themselves. I don't want them to be scared. I want them to drive and draw those fouls in and take it straight to the line. That's 2 extra points there.
That's what Valley's doing, and Maxey. Yep. That's great defense by Johnson.
Very much so. Hands straight up. That's what we want to see. We can definitely see the Wildcats are finding their pace in the game.
Finally, the Wildcats slow it down after what feels like 3 straight possessions of just go, go, go.
Now, Mike, you definitely, we were just at 14.
Another fadeaway. No good. Nicholson again. White, down low, back to Nicholson.
Draw a foul.
She does.
That's what I do it every time. You would have thought we was up by a lot more points, but we're still at 16-17, and it's been a couple of plays been
because the Wildcats can't make a basket. They're shooting under 40%. So are the Devilettes now, 37.
Hopefully we can take those mistakes and be able to apply it to self. We need to drive.
Bethune-Cookman just 1 of their last 7 from the floor.
Wow.
And they went on long, cold stretches like this on Thursday as well.
But don't you think that if we knew that it's long, cold stretches like this, we'd be able to apply ourselves into doing better things to work for us?
Nicholson finally gets her first free throw. I mean, it's all well and good for us to sit up here talking about it.
Yeah.
But it's hard. You played. I didn't play
play
basketball, but I played sports. It's harder to actually get your mindset in a place where it's easy to do that.
Absolutely.
Nicholson got them both, and the Wildcats have their first lead at 18-17.
There we go. Running a press. Let's see if they run it correctly.
Valley into the front court. 7:15 to go first half in a low-scoring contest. 18-17 Cats. Maxey to Paris, who's just checked in. Michaela Paris. Across to McCullers.
Nice on the defense.
Seal the baseline. Maxey out to McCullers. Protection, that's Paris. Back to Maxey. A mismatch against Johnson. End of the shot clock. Oh, offensive rebound. Put back, no good. And out of bounds, but it comes straight to the Wildcats.
She better drive.
Clark will just wait and kick it across to Dorsey. She will drive. She will put it up. That's a tough shot, no good. Johnson battling for the rebound. And she puts it up and in.
That's what I like to see.
How about the freshman, Maya Johnson? I'm not sure that's what she intended,
but it happened, Mike. It happened.
It honestly looked like she was trying to pass that ball, and it ended up going in the net.
What a lucky girl.
Wait.
Did they count the points?
No.
Oh,
they called
no.
I think they called an offensive foul against Johnson.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Did not like that call at all.
They did.
Did not like that call. I don't like that one.
Wow. So the Wildcats, 1 of their last 8 now from the field.
But that last play defensive-wise, I love it. They're staying with their man. Hawthorne is definitely back in and locked in along with the other Wildcats.
McCullers baseline drive, floater too strong, and a Wildcat foul against Dorsey.
Now I feel like they're just calling fouls now, Mike.
Brooks comes back in probably to replace Dorsey. It'll be a baseline in for the Devilettes. 3 fouls against the Wildcats in this quarter, 2 against Mississippi Valley. Mississippi Valley has not scored in 5 minutes.
But their defensive has been, working for them, though.
Yeah, which is why they only trail by 1. Here's McCullers on the drive, shovels it to a wide open Duranam.
I think that's the beauty of the basketball. When the plays are run being correctly, somebody's always bound to be open.
Hawthorne back in the game. She's got 4 points. She spins. She puts it up off the glass.
Loverdale, Mike.
Cassandra Hawthorne.
On fire today.
She's got 6 of the Wildcats' 20.
But this is what we were looking for from her last game, too.
Good defensively to force the pass to McCullers.
Nice switch. There we go.
Layup no good by Jones. Odd man rush for the Wildcats if they hurry here. White skips it across. Open look for Kelly. And they're still without a 3 on the game, Bethune-Cookman. But a long offensive rebound is turned over by Kayla White. She's looking for Kelly again. McCullers all the way. Bucket and the foul. Hawthorne was trying to draw the charge. She didn't set her feet.
Nope, not yet. Definitely have to set your 2 feet for that charge to be able to call for it. Will not go our way.
Valley takes the lead again, 21-20, as these teams trade back and forth now. Kyla McCullers from Madison, Wisconsin. We talked about connections before Valley. Kira Jones and McCullers both played at Madison East High School. And the third big connection is Jayla Reed and Shadiman McKnight, who is not available for Valley this evening. Both played their first 2 college seasons at Southern Arkansas Tech in the NAIA.
Chanel McDonald also came from an NAIA school.
In Warner, you're correct. Just goes to show you there is talent everywhere.
Just gotta look. Gotta be more cautious of our passes. Their turnovers.
Wildcats have turned the ball over 8 times in this first half. That's something we didn't talk about pregame, but it's something that has troubled the Wildcats this season.
Yes.
Deflected pass comes right to Reed. Maxey wide open. She chooses to drive and gets stripped by Kelly. Kelly, coast to coast, lost the ball. It'll stay with the Wildcats. And that'll be the immediate timeout of the second quarter. SWAC basketball is back. Don't miss your chance to catch every second of B-CU basketball action at Moore Gym. The Wildcats will host a men's women's doubleheader today, Saturday, January 18th. The men's game to follow after this one, about 5:30 p.m. And then Monday, men's basketball has a game against Arkansas Pine Bluff, 7 p.m. right here at Moore Gymnasium. Come on out, support your Wildcats. Student tickets, free. General admission tickets start at $10, or if you can't make the game, you can watch. The Cat Eye Network will have coverage from Wildcat basketball all season long, every home game, and some road games as well. We're still finalizing that schedule of when you can tune into Cat Eye Network radio on the Cat Eye Network and 1380 WELE for some road basketball. Sabrina, I see you furiously writing some notes. What do you got for us?
I really do think we need to reevaluate our defensive strategies because it's always somebody open on the opponent's side, which causes them, gives them enough leeways, and which is why I think we're stuck in, the bottom of the points. I think if we stick to one defensive play and we use that to our advantage, we probably will be able to get a little bit more turnovers on their part and take it down to our court, offensively.
The Wildcats have turned the ball over 9 times in this first half, leading to 10 Mississippi Valley points. Valley's turned the ball over 6 times, leading to 8 Wildcat points. Second chance points, 4-2 in favor of Mississippi Valley. So we call those hustle stats.
Yeah.
Turnovers, points in transition, second chance points, all going in favor of the visiting team right now.
And it shows because they are in the lead.
The Wildcats also 0 of 7 for 3 points. And they hit a lot yesterday, or Thursday rather, in that comeback win.
Hopefully see that 0-7 on the 3 points that gives us the hint of driving, because I think we've been doing pretty good so far in the paint. Drawing those fouls.
After a hot first quarter from the floor, both teams have cooled way off. Mississippi Valley 36%, the Wildcats 38%.
And that was also one of my key of the games for last game.
Catch and shoot for Langston. No good. Valley has a chance to extend their 2-point advantage with 4:25 to go in the first half. We may be headed towards some season low point totals.
Yeah, especially compared to last
Another three is well
season.
short. Offensive rebound. Great strip by Kelly, but it'll stay with Mississippi Valley. The Wildcats score 61.9 points per game. The Devilettes 58.7. Both of those in the bottom half of the SWAC. But right now, we're on for 44 and 40.
My goodness.
2 on the clock. Maxey 3. No good. Good box out by Langston. Open paint for White, but she stops and kicks to Brooks. Open wing 3. Kaboom!
It fell through. I was a little worried, but I'm glad it fell through.
Finally, the Wildcats off the mark from long range, and it ends a over 2-minute scoreless drought for the Cats as they take the lead 23-22.
Now it's 1-7, correct?
1-8.
1-8.
Still not great, but at least they got one to go through.
Yep, absolutely.
Jayla Reed skips it across, and a travel. Jada Murphy, this freshman, traveled with the ball. Murphy, the leader in assists on this team with 36. Again, Valley, if you're just joining us, without the services of their leader in points per game and steals, Shadiman McKnight, and their leader in blocks, Jayla Douglas, as well as 4 other Valley players unavailable today. They are also down their head coach, Kimberly Anderson, departed the program. Jason James is acting head coach.
Oof.
It'll be Valley ball, last off the foot of White. Another turnover for the Wildcats, their 10th of the first half. Need I not remind you that in 2 of the first 4 conference games, the Wildcats had 30-plus turnovers.
Deep side.
Maxey looking for somewhere to go with the ball, and Nicholson runs through Murphy and commits the foul. Nicholson is 1 rebound off a double-double already, 10 points, 9 boards.
And that's what I was hoping for, because she had such a low game last game. I know she's doing everything in her power to prove, you know, who Nicholson is really is this game.
But now 2 fouls for H&A, so she'll
Yeah.
probably sit the rest of the first half.
Just a little too eager.
And the Devilettes in the bonus now, so it'll be 2 free throws for Jada Murphy, who shoots at 66%, makes the first one.
I think you're right, Mike. I think Mississippi Valley is not the same team. It definitely shows offensively wise, defensively wise. They're looking more and more organized every year.
Murphy, the former SWSB Player of the Year back in her home city of Chicago, where she started Flossmoor High School. She makes both free throws and gives the lead back to the Devilettes, 24-23. .254 to go. Kayla White, who went over from the floor on Thursday and is similar over from the floor so far today. Here's McDonald working down low. Can't get it to roll in off the rim. Put back.
Nice.
Good by Langston. What you talked about, Sabrina, crash the glass, second chance points.
Yes, and that's what's going to win those ball games. But our biggest enemy right now is hesitation. Every single time we get the ball, we just hesitate when we get it. Just go up with it.
Jab step by Maxey. Spin
Nice.
move, kick out. 3 on the way from Murphy. Good. Another 3 for Mississippi Valley, their 3rd of the game.
They are not letting up. And this is what we talked about earlier in the game. Do not underestimate these teams, especially in the SWAC. It does not matter what the record is at all.
2 minutes to go first half. Phillips in the corner. Usually a 3-point sharpshooter, Shomari. Gets to get off the mark today. Kayla White is going to be reached in upon by a Valley defender.
But she drove in, and that's what we're looking for.
Jada Murphy commits the foul.
Hawthorne back in.
Yeah, and already, if we're looking at some interesting numbers here, 3 personal fouls on Mia Hardin for Mississippi Valley. So that's why the big center has not been in the majority of this second quarter.
But I did say that she was going to drop them very quickly in the beginning.
I don't think 3 fouls in 3 minutes is what you meant.
Oh.
But and another foul on Valley for a push goes against Jayla Reed. And that will send the Wildcats to the line with the bonus, and Jordan Brooks will toe the stripe. Brooks, the freshman, very talented freshman from Atlanta, Georgia, the all-time leader in points, assists, and steals at Union Grove High School, a 2-time All-State team selection and Player of the Year.
The fearless freshman, as they call her.
And she misses the first one on this season. She's one of the better free throw shooters on this team at 73%.
Yep.
But I like the little nicknames you come up with for the players. You got the Lucky Lefty for Kelly.
Yep, Janessa Kelly, Lucky Lefty. And then we got the fearless freshman for Jordan Brooks. I'm still working out the kinks for all the other ones. I think Asian A is going to be the next one that I give.
I'm sure by the end of the season we'll have nicknames for everybody.
Yep.
Brooks for her second free throw. No good, missed them both. Hawthorne the rebound.
Nice rebound.
And it's a jump ball. And
I love the energy.
Possession arrow. I can't see the possession arrow from up here. It's Mississippi Valley ball.
Oh, still love the energy that Hawthorne has been coming with. It's a definitely huge shift from last game with Arkansas to Mississippi Valley now. Now my only hopes is to make sure she keeps that same energy throughout the entire game.
Wildcats down 2 and Valley with the ball here. 1:43 to go first half. 27-25 in a low-scoring contest. Hesitation from Murphy.
Hawthorne all up in her face.
Back to Maxey. She's been the danger woman for the Devilettes in this first half. They dump it into Paris. She backs up Hawthorne and
Great
misses.
defense. She's like a machine.
Kayla White wide open. Shomari Phillips from the corner.
Nice.
Kaboom again!
Nice. What we're looking for. Making sure they're smart passes. Now that was a smart play to shoot a 3. Very well executed, very poised, and the ball went in.
Wildcats have stuck with their guns on the three-point shot.
What
There's a long swing pass and an offensive foul as Maxey follows through on Langston underneath. And the Wildcats are going to get a chance to extend their lead with 55 seconds left to go in this first half. The largest lead for the Wildcats has been 3.
Wow.
25-22. They've not been able to get away from this Valley team. McDonald in the high post. Motions White across. White picks up her dribble, lost the ball, got it back, and is fouled.
We're fighting.
And I'm a little in Valley's corner there. I don't think there was much Jada Murphy could have done about that. Clark kind of ran into her off the loose ball, but it will send Clark to the free throw line where she was 6 of 6 on Thursday. All 6 of her points came from the free throw line. And she is still yet to score this afternoon, so she's looking for her first points. Kayla White, the senior from Cleveland. Asian Nicholson, also originally from the Cleveland area. Both of them got to go home earlier this season when the Wildcats played Cleveland State.
Oh, wow. I know that would have been a great game. All their families coming up and showing out.
Kayla White continues her perfect weekend from the stripe and gives the Wildcats a 3-point lead. 41 seconds to go in the half. One more stop for the Wildcats. They can take a 2-possession lead into the locker room. White up in Maxey's face. Jones gets past.
That was definitely a foul.
And foul called. And you could really either call it on Hawthorne or McDonald.
But one thing's for sure, it definitely was a foul.
They called it on McDonald.
Oh.
B-CU on a 5-0 run, but Valley a chance to break it here at the line with Kiara Jones. First one good. When Kiara Jones was at the free throw line last time, I brought up the fact that her high school mascot at Madison East High School is the Pure Golders.
Yeah.
And I thought that was odd, so I did some digging. And the reason that it's called that is it's just a wordsmith portmanteau of purple and gold, which are the team's colors.
Wow. Interesting fact, Mike. I'm going to definitely take that one with me. Do some digging. Go digging. Good wordplay.
I wasn't going to go there. I thought about it, but I wasn't going to go there. Shot clock off, 25 seconds to go first half. Cats with a 1-point lead. Jordan Brooks against Maxey out high. It's all Brooks at the moment, setting up one last play. 10 seconds to go, here it comes.
I hope she uses this to drive or at least do a mid-ranger.
She's gonna try and find Shomari down low. The fade away
Nice.
is perfect for Asia Nicholson at the horn of the first half. And the Wildcats take a 32-29 lead into the break. Not as comfortable as we thought it might be going in. Mississippi Valley scrapping and fighting for all they're worth, but the Wildcats hold the Devilettes to just 12 points in that second quarter and take a 32-29 lead into the break. Quick thoughts on that first half?
Exactly what I called it in the beginning, the underestimating Mississippi Valley. You know, regardless of the scoreboard or what record they're coming in with, they're coming into play. And we are a different team that we have not played this way. So I honestly am hoping to see more control within these second half starting. I want to see the press ran correctly. I need them to reevaluate the defensive strategies. As for Mississippi Valley, I honestly do not have any notes because with the key of the games, I told them to play fundamental basketball and stick to what they knew, and that's what they've been doing this entire game. You know, of course, with some, minor turnovers, of course, but they have been sticking to the script. They've been doing what they know, sticking to what they know, playing those plays, playing defensively, and using those to take it up there to offensively.
I want to take the time to talk about the man versus zone conversation because the Wildcats have stayed in man for most of this first half, but I think you'd like to see them play more zone defense.
Yes, the same way, if we can take a look, it's like playing our near selves. We see Mississippi Valley playing zone down there. This gives us an option for us to drive and draw fouls every single time. But I think our stronger suit is also zone down on defensive wise. It gives us a chance to not only watch the top of the key, but keep our eye on it in the back. Because when we play against men, it seems like they're beating us. Two of the fastest teams already. We played Mississippi Valley. Today we're playing Mississippi Valley, I'm so sorry, and they're just a bit faster than us. And Arkansas was absolutely faster than us, beating us down the court. Whereas we can stay in zone and continue to watch the area and making sure that we're grabbing the rebounds and boxing out the way that we need to.
We'll take about a 10-minute break, and when we come back, we'll take you through the first half stats, a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and get you set for the second half here from Moore Gymnasium. It's halftime here with the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats leading the Mississippi Valley State Devilettes 32-29. You're watching Bethune-Cookman Women's Basketball on the Cat Eye Network. Welcome back to more Gymnasium. Just about to set the second half underway between the Mississippi Valley State Devilettes and the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. The Wildcats lead it at the break 32-29. Here are your first half scoring totals. First for Mississippi Valley State. Maxey's got 7, Murphy's got 7, Reed has 5, Jones has 5, McCullers has 3, and Durham has 2. And for Bethune-Cookman, Ajané Nicholson is 1 rebound shy of a double-double in the first half. 10 points, 9 boards. Hawthorne's got 6. Off the bench, McDonald's got 4. Brooks has 3, Phillips has 3. Langston, White, and Clark all have 2. So just like last night, or Thursday night, it's not one person doing all the scoring for the Wildcats. It's a lot of little contributions from everybody.
Absolutely, and we want to go ahead and make sure that we're continuing to mesh together as a team. We play better as a team.
Team stats, rebounding, the Wildcats way on top, 22-13 in total rebounds, including a 10-5 advantage on the offensive glass, but both teams only have 4 second chance points. So that's 4 second chance points on 10 offensive rebounds for the Wildcats. But BCU has 9 assists, Mississippi Valley just 6. Wildcats have turned the ball over 11 times, leading to 12 Mississippi Valley points off turnovers. Conversely, Valley has turned the ball over 8 times, leading to 10 Wildcat points. Only 1 block credited in that first half. It went to Mississippi Valley. Mississippi Valley also registered 6 steals to the Wildcats, just 4. The Wildcats closed that second quarter strong, winning it 18-12 to take a 32-29 lead after trailing 17-14 after 1. Let's go around the SWAC and take a look at the scores happening right now. It's the battle of the Alabamas. Alabama A&M leads Alabama State at halftime 20-17.
Wow.
Low scoring game there.
I know it's a good one.
Southern against Grambling. Southern leads at 22-16. Southern's got one of the best teams in the conference this year.
Absolutely.
They will compete for a conference title. Alcorn State 2, Texas Southern 5, still early on in that one. And then yet to tip off, Arkansas Pine Bluff against Florida A&M. That's going around the SWAC.
I'm actually kind of excited to see Arkansas versus FAMU because I think that'll be a really good game.
Set the second half up for us, Sabrina. Give me one thing each team needs to do to be successful in this second half.
So let's start with Mississippi Valley to begin with. I don't literally have no notes with them. I think it's just to tighten up their offense. They've been doing a great job so far. You know, they have been, working defensively, stopping our points from falling in. So I think if they continue to play like that with just a little bit more aggression, we might be able to see an outcome that we on the Wildcat side may not want to see. But if we go over to B-CU, it's the same thing that I said before, halftime started, was just more control. I don't want to see nobody hesitate. Hesitation is our biggest enemy right now, and I want to see them drive. So as soon as they get the ball in the paint, just take it to the hoop because they're going to foul us. And they showed us that every single time we drove. I also want them to, I want to see if they reevaluated their defensive strategies. So the first thing I'm going to be looking for is what defensive play they're going with. Are they in man? Are they in zone? Are they in a 2-3? Are they in a 3-2? Are they in a 2-1-2? I want to see what they're going to use to, stop Mississippi Valley from driving right past us.
For a long time in that first half, Valley's 2-1-2 zone kind of frustrated us offensively. What do you think the Wildcats need to do to consistently get the ball in the bucket more going into the second half? They finished the first half strong, averaging up at 42% from the field. They were as low as 26% at one point in that first half.
I think, honestly, maybe flip the score back on them. Maybe let us get into a 2-1-2 and see if that'll work on our favor using our big in that middle. I would love to see Hawthorne as a post player.
Wildcats start with the ball here in the second half. They were the all gold. They go right to left. Valley in the green going left to right. Michael Turillo, Sabrina Petit home live from Moore Gymnasium here with the first of our doubleheader today. Here's Ajané Nicholson driving in off the window. That's an easy money for Ajané.
Exactly what I've been looking for, driving.
Again, Nicholson just 1 rebound shy of her 9th double-double of the season.
Wow.
And you'd think she'd get that here in this second half. Here's Maxey, the leading scorer for Valley. 3 all the way, and no good off the rim. Nicholson, there's her rebound.
Yep,
and
there
she's
it
got
is.
a double-double. Aishanae Nicholson, 4 double-doubles in her last 6 games. Just unbelievable streak she's riding right now.
I think she's taking it all the way to the end. Doing a great job.
Janessa Kelly, didn't see much from her in the first half. Baseline drive and a foul called. Wildcats got a little bit lucky there as Chanel McDonald lost the ball.
Reaching in.
And you talk about driving, and that's all well and good, but sometimes you can drive recklessly into double teams like McDonald just did. And she was looking for the kick to the top, but nobody was there.
And that's where we go back to control. We need to be able to see them playing a poised.
Good
manner.
block by Jones.
Good rebound from Nicholson.
And a foul against Janessa Kelly. We'll give the ball back to Mississippi Valley, so Wildcats come up empty on that possession. Nicholson up to 12 and 10
Wow.
with 8:46 to go in the third.
And we're not even in the fourth quarter yet.
That's how you recover from an off night, like she had on Thursday.
She came back for blood. Living.
Straight on 3, off to the left.
Nice rebound.
And the rebound
Right
is
into
fought
her
for and grabbed by Valley. It was originally grabbed by Brooks, but she lost it. And a whistle and a stoppage of play. Not sure what the referees are discussing here. Probably something with the shot clock. And they're going to give a flop warning to Jada Murphy. So now Murphy's got to be careful. If she is judged to have flopped again,
Oh, God.
that's going to be a technical foul. And we'll go to a media timeout with the Wildcats just up 2-0 in this quarter, 34-29 overall. Nike is the official outfitter of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Gear up on the newest B-CU Nike gear at nike.com/Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. And make sure you are representing Bethune-Cookman University Athletics to the fullest. Buy the latest B-CU gear online at the Bethune-Cookman online store. Go to bcuathletics.com and click on shop to find the newest BCU clothing and apparel. That's bcuathletics.com and click on shop. I just got some baseball shirts
Did you now?
the other day. Baseball
Season's
season
right
right
around
around the corner.
Yep.
Softball season in 21 days until first pitch for softball.
Super excited for that.
I love the spring sports. It's my
Yes.
favorite time of year. But not to discount basketball.
Oh, absolutely.
We've still got most of the season left to go for basketball.
Right. One thing I do want to bring up with Mississippi Valley, I was really taking a look. With them having a short bench, they are very well conditioned. You know, you could tell, you could start to see when a player is getting tired or if the team is getting tired, they're lacking points. But they've been on it from the beginning to where we're at right now. They look very well conditioned.
And I like the way Valley's running their offense. A lot of times they're getting good shots,
It's just not falling.
they just haven't fallen.
Yeah.
And the Wildcats got to be careful because if they do start falling,
We could be in trouble.
Wildcats could be in trouble.
We could be
Now,
in trouble.
it's the kind of thing that happened on Thursday where it seemed like everything that Pine Bluff threw up fell in.
Yes. That I was really just trying to make sense of that.
Valley on the ball. Wildcats with our largest lead of the game, 34-29, which is wild to say. A 5-point lead is the largest Bethune-Cookman lead of the game.
Let's hope we can keep it there and increase it at least.
Here's Jada Murphy, who just got that flop warning at the last media timeout. Launching a 3 is Reed off the mark. Rebound for Kayla White, who still doesn't have a field goal tonight.
There's that hesitation I was talking about.
And she turns it over, but it goes right back to Bethune-Cookman. Whistle and a foul will stay with the Wildcats. So the foul's going to go against Murphy.
Yeah.
That's just good basketball sense for Nicholson to realize that White had lost the ball and to get inside position there and take the foul.
Basketball smarts.
And sometimes good basketball hurts, like when you take a big lick in the back and face plant on the ground like that.
Or sacrificing yourself for a charge.
We're going to go to another media timeout and a review. They're checking for a potential flagrant here,
Oh.
which I didn't see anything untoward, but of course the referees are much closer to the play than we are.
And they can see everything down there. Almost everything.
So we have time to sit and chat here for a while.
Yep.
Stay up to date with everything Bethune-Cookman Athletics by checking out the Wildcats on social media. Give BCU Athletics a like on Facebook and follow the Wildcats on X and Instagram at BCU_athletics. For the latest on BCU women's basketball, follow at B-CU WBB on X and Instagram. Good defensive start for the Wildcats in this second half. No points for the Devilettes so far in this third quarter.
I'm just a little, I'm really hoping that they use those mistakes from the first half and really apply them. And I know that the third quarter just started, but I just really, really want to see them use those things to further the gap between us and Mississippi Valley.
But again, the Wildcats, turnover numbers, they've committed 12 turnovers already in the game. That's 24 points potentially that you're giving up.
Yeah. We want to be able
and
to
you even see it on plays like that where just Kayla White trying to do too much, do it all herself, and just lost the ball.
It's like she sees where it's going, and then she second-guesses herself, maybe to pass it out.
And again, if you're Kayla White, it can be frustrating.
Yeah.
Last night, or Thursday, I can't stop saying last night.
It's too close, Mike.
Thursday night, 0 for 6 from the floor. Got all of her scoring, got at the free throw line. Today, hasn't taken a field goal, her only 2 points at the free throw line. 8:01 to go here, third quarter. We are checking a potential flagrant foul against Jayla Reed.
Jayla Reed.
Right now, it's a common foul. I thought the foul was on Murphy, but it is not. It's on Reed. There was a big pile up there in the for the ball,
so a whole bunch of bodies there.
I wasn't sure who they were going to call it on. But Reed picks up her second personal. This gives me a chance to go over some foul numbers. It's starting to get concerning for Valley here. Maxey, Murphy, Reed, and Durham all have 2, and Hardin has 3. For the Wildcats, Nicholson, Hawthorne, and McDonald all have 2. So all 3 forwards that have seen significant playing time have 2 fouls for the Wildcats.
Which is still good.
Brooks, Langston, Dorsey, Kelly, and Johnson all have 1.
Okay, so we're still on that bottom half for the fouls.
Yeah.
Which is really, really good.
I mean, if you can stay under 3 personal fouls going into the fourth quarter, I think you're set.
Yeah. Especially if we're almost halfway to the third quarter.
We are still waiting for a decision on the referee's potential flagrant foul here on Jayla Reed. I am assuming that's what they're trying to call. They've been talking for an awfully long time down there.
I think they're trying to make a decision on what it was.
Speaking as a former official, not of basketball, but of soccer,
Of course.
a lot of the concepts are the same. If you can't come to a decision in a reasonable length of time, usually you'll stick with the original decision on the court. Not to say that that's what they're going to do now, but that is what I can kind of read into the body language as a former official.
Looks like they actually kept it as that.
So we shall see. The officials have made their decision. They're informing the head coaches. Janelle Creighton Del Rosario on the Wildcat side, and Jason James, the interim head coach on the Valley side. If you're just joining us, James is the acting head coach for Mississippi Valley right now after Kimberly Anderson, who had been their head coach for 3 years, departed the program. And it looks like they called a flagrant.
Oh.
An intentional foul is what they're calling it, which is the women's basketball equivalent of a flagrant penalty 1.
Did not know that, Mike.
And it'll be Kelly at the line. And all the way in and just popped right out on the first intentional free throw. It feels weird calling it that. I'm going to call it a flagrant free throw.
Flagrant, yeah. Intentional is a little...
Got the second one, and then the Wildcats will have possession. 35-29 the score. 8:01 to go in the third quarter.
Still not comfortable. Yeah.
No, and I don't think any lead in the SWAC is comfortable. We've seen big comebacks. I mean, we saw it with the Grambling State men against Bethune-Cookman last week. The Wildcats were up by 28 and only won by 6.
Absolutely. And even with Arkansas, it may not have been a big comeback, but it definitely was a comeback at the last minute for us to win the game.
Nicholson flashes to the top to get the pass all the way to the corner, too tall for Kelly, and another Wildcat turnover.
Mississippi Valley switched their defense to a 3-2 down the low.
Murphy controls for Mississippi Valley, the freshman from Chicago.
The Wildcats in the 1-2-2. Like we called it earlier, to see if that worked.
As they switched their defensive scheme from the first half where they were mostly in man. And a travel.
It works.
Yeah, and I can see why you wanted them to switch to that 1-2-2.
Yep. But with that 1-2-2, something that the Wildcats have seen early before we tend to miss out is that baseline. So I'm really happy that somebody from the bottom two was able to chase that other player from Mississippi Valley on the baseline.
Kelly in the short corner. Floater short from McDonald. That's usually her wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Just missed that one.
A mid-range queen.
Mid-range queen. I like that. We had queen of the net in volleyball for Niara Hightower.
My girl. That's my girl.
Lots of time dawdling at the top. This is Janiyah Jones. Hasn't played a ton in this basketball game. Here's Maxie, who has played a lot. 23 minutes of this ball game.
Loving the defense that the Wildcats are bringing.
Turnaround jumper and a missed shot by McCullers.
Exactly what I've been looking for all game.
Kayla White skips a pass, extra pass, shoveled. 3 on the way, too strong. Nicholson rises for the rebound, and then she lost the ball underneath and then fouled McCullers, tripped her up. And I think McCullers might have taken a shot to the face. A little bit concerning, that's Ajane Nicholson's third foul.
Oh, third foul. 6 minutes left into the third quarter, and we haven't touched the fourth.
I don't know, I might take Nicholson out, which they do. No, Nicholson's still in. Kayla Clark is in for McDonald.
I just really hope that she turns, and it sounds bad with me asking, just talking about how I wanted the players to be like, take it up a notch, but you don't want to be in foul trouble, too early in the second half.
So Nicholson will play with 3 fouls, and if I'm Valley, I want to drive right at her, maybe get her her fourth. She's been the dominant force for Bethune-Cookman so far in this game.
Very nice pick, Vincent.
Maxie throws it back. Extra pass down low. Back to Maxie. She's wide open for 3, and she got it. Mississippi Valley's first points of the third quarter come on a 3 by Maxie.
Mind you that every single time they make points like that, it's because the play is being ran correctly.
And she was wide open, too. Clark, extra pass. Nicholson missed it short. Got her own miss, shovels it back up, no good. Clark looking for a kick-out outlet. It's Kelly in the corner. No, Wildcats just 2 of 11 from downtown in this game.
Gotta drive. We're going back into those three-pointers, knowing that we're not strong at this game, at least, in those three-pointers.
Maxie backdoor pass, out of bounds, Wildcat ball. And we'll bring Phillips and Brooks back in for the Wildcats. Nicholson's still playing. And this is kind of the embarrassment of riches that the Wildcats have at the forward spot. I mean, you've got Nicholson, McDonald, Clark, even Maya Johnson and Kamara Langston can play the small forward. You've got so many competent players out there that can play the 4 or the 5.
And that's really good, so that way we're able to refresh our players and be moving them to where they have to be if something were to happen. Nice
Brooks
ball movement.
Down low, Clark attacks, back to Jordan. 8 on the shot clock, all the way across to Phillips. Her three-pointer, no. I'm with you. I would abandon the three-point shot for now. It's just not working. Try and get into the paint and get shots up.
And those passes across the court, not my favorite. Especially if we were to have Mia back down there, she would have easily picked off those shots.
McCullers all the way in, and it's a 1-point game. 5-0 run for the Devilettes.
Driving in, Mississippi Valley catching on to what needs to be done, playing basketball and driving in to make those fundamental shots.
Nicholson.
Nice pass.
She is travels.
Oh, wow. What a call.
Thought she got pushed out of bounds. They call it travel.
Like. That's what it looked like to me.
Wildcats will play some press here, and Maxey just sprints through it, but palming violation.
Hello.
You rarely see that called.
I haven't seen it since high school.
It's one of the rarest things to call, but it happens on literally every play.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch enough basketball, you'll see
some of them,
players, you know, they've got the ball cradled like they're holding a globe
Yep.
before they dribble it, and it's not called, but that time it was blatant enough to be called on Maxey, and the Wildcats escape.
4 minutes left in the game, well, in the third quarter. I really hope that they start to find their control. Start playing at their own pace.
They're swarming to the forwards whenever one of them touches the ball. Dorsey open for three. Oh, yeah!
Down the drain.
Damani Dorsey finally gets the Wildcats off of a 3.5-minute slide.
And it was beautiful, but Mike, we cannot relate to those. We cannot rely on those shots. We have to drive in.
Valley and Horns. And
Nice
it's stolen.
pick.
Dorsey
Hello.
up the floor.
Yeah, I hope she drives.
Plays
Nice
it
pass.
Nicholson.
Let's go.
Great pass, great vision by Damani Dorsey to find Dejanay on the back door. And then they're going to get a reach in on Brooks.
Oh.
It was just a little bit too aggressive against Jada Murphy.
I don't know who that ref is, but he's been on it with those calls.
The Wildcats back up by
6 points.
6, 40-34.
And you said the largest lead we had was 8, correct?
No, the largest lead has been 6 at 35-29. Haven't led by more than that. It's the largest that either team has led by. Clark, a deflected pass. Scramble on the ground for it, stays with Valley. 3 by Jones. No good. Rebound to Phillips. And the crowd here at Moore Gym letting them know about the air ball. Brooks, deep 3. Oh, with the punish! Timeout, Mississippi Valley State.
You know what I realized, Mike? With me being a student here at Bethune-Cookman and watching our teams, it doesn't matter if we have different players, it doesn't matter if we have a whole different team. Something that I have realized, we are a halftime team, a post-halftime team. We get our fire back after halftime.
And that's the first time this gym's really woken up.
Yeah.
Not a bad crowd numbers-wise. It just kind of felt like the crowd's been sleepwalking through this one. That 3 by Jordan Brooks woke up the Moore Maniacs.
Especially the one after Damani, too.
The Wildcats had only 2 3-pointers in the first half. They've now got 2 in the third quarter.
Yep.
And 2 big ones at that to push it to their largest lead of the game, 43-34. It's an 8-0 run for Bethune-Cookman.
I'm still sticking to what I say. They can't rely on those 3-point shots. They're so beautiful and so needed when it's made. But we have to make sure that we are letting our players know to draw in those fouls.
And I think that's what Coach Creighton is telling her team in the huddle. But I will give Valley credit. They've been doing a great job. Anytime the Wildcats go to those short corners to the forwards, they're immediately double teaming and forcing those kickouts.
Absolutely.
Wildcats up by 9, 2:55 to go third quarter on an 8-0 run right now. It forced Valley to call a timeout. Murphy dribble handoff, Maxey all the way in. Kick out, corner 3, way short. Another air ball, but Valley comes up with it. Nobody closed out to the shooter, but it's short again, and Nicholson grabs the miss. Full court press for the Devilettes. It's broken. In the corner, Phillips.
This would have been a nice cut if we had somebody down here.
Clark eventually gets there, gets stripped, and it's Valley ball. Another Wildcat turnover, their 15th of the game. And you can see Clark has some strapping on her right leg.
Yeah.
And maybe she is playing a little bit less than 100%. We wondered why after her double-double last night she wasn't starting. 2 minutes to go in the third. The Colors launches a 3. Oh, just off. And Dejanay Nicholson, another rebound. Brooks ducks it into Clark. She goes to work and hits the mid-range. That was smooth from Kayla Clark.
Very smooth.
Clark hit her first career three-pointer on Thursday night.
Really?
Yeah. I knew it was her first of the season. I had to go look and see what was the first of her career. It was indeed. Traveling violation gives the ball back to the Wildcats.
There's that fire we've been talking about, what we've been looking at the entire game. And it goes back to what I was talking about from the previous game with Arkansas. We really want to make sure that fire that we always get halftime is there from the beginning in the first quarter all the way to the end. We don't want to just rely on halftime to get that fire back and catch back up. If we start off with that fire, we'll be sitting so comfortably in the second half.
Wildcats back on offense. Here goes Shamari Phillips, misses it short. Clark with the putback.
Them really cold in the first half, just playing basketball to play basketball. And after that halftime, they were able to find that fire and take it all the way with the comeback. With 1 minute and 55 seconds left in the third quarter against Pine Bluff, was able to take it all the way in the fourth quarter. We don't want to always rely on that fire in the second half because anything can happen. But if we start with that same fire and we end with that, there's no way that we won't be able to take it all the way.
The Wildcats closed the quarter on a 12-2 run. Mississippi Valley just hit one of their last 5 shots from the floor, and the one that they hit was a really open layup as the Wildcats never got back in transition.
Yeah.
There is no BC without you. Show your support for Bethune-Cookman Athletics by joining the Wildcat Champions Club today. Help us build a championship culture at Bethune-Cookman. You can donate and join at bcuathletics.com/champions club today. That's bcuathletics.com/champions club. And if you want to support the Wildcats like never before, Bethune-Cookman Athletics has partnered with Influxer to bring you officially licensed, co-branded NIL merchandise featuring your favorite players' names and numbers. Proceeds from each purchase directly support Wildcat student athletes. Show your support for your favorite Wildcats today at bcuathletics.com/NIL merch. Influx is really cool. I mean, it's one of the good things that have come out of the whole NIL saga. I mean, you can get your favorite player's name and number on the back of a jersey, all customized, and the proceeds from that go to that player. It's a great way to support the athletes. We come down to the fourth quarter, and the Wildcats up by 11. Now, do not count out Valley.
Not at all. It's still anybody's game, as close as it is.
Valley will start with the basketball. Here we go. Wildcats trying to sweep a home weekend here at Moore Gymnasium for the first time in 2025.
And the way they do that is defensive-wise. Watch the cut.
Traveling violation against Murphy as she went all the way in. Again, great defense by Hawthorne.
I'm loving her style today.
It's wild that Cassandra Hawthorne is averaging less than 10 minutes a game and just 1.6 points. Because every time she touches the floor, it feels like something magical was going to happen.
Yeah.
Hawthorne didn't start the season as the Devilettes go to a press.
But then again, it's not always how you started. It's always how you ended. And she is showing that today on the court.
Clark on the dribble. Yeah. So Hawthorne started her career at Coppin State and then transferred late, so she had to sit out the first 10 games of the season. Up and under Dorsey, throws it off the window and in.
Wow.
That may have been the ugliest shot I've ever seen, but it went in and it counts for 2 points.
Just like Arkansas, they might have rubbed up on us in a little bit.
Jordan Brooks almost rips it away from Murphy. Maxey, who we've held to just 10 tonight.
The Wildcats are back in the 2-3 zone. Switching when needed to be. Watching that baseline.
Step back 3 too strong. Jordan Brooks, the shortest player on the floor, grabs the rebound. Dorsey attacks and scores.
Again. You saw that scoop?
Timeout, Valley.
They have to play ice cream and cake because that was such a scoop into the leg.
I'd really love to get Coach's opinion at the end of this game on the second half adjustments, because it seems like they were just completely bamboozled by that zone in the first half. And then they came back in the second half. They've been much better offensively.
They definitely shows because they are playing with such fire offensively wise. We're making those points. Shots are falling.
Yeah, they've held Mississippi Valley to just 27% from the floor in the second half.
Right.
And was it the switch to the 1-2-1 or 2-3 zone?
Yep, it was a 2-2-1, and then it went straight into the 2-3 zone. Now, I think the reason why we might not always play in a zone defense is probably because we tend to forget about the baseline. And I've seen that happen a lot whenever they do fall into a zone defense. They forget about the baseline because they pull them so far up, it gives the other opponent to sneak into the back and put up a layup. Or sneak to the other side and shoot up a three because we're not focused on the back end. So
but that is just kind of a hallmark of how Creighton likes to coach their defense, right? They go for a lot of steals. They've led the league in steals each of the last 3 seasons. They're not leading the league in steals right now, just 9.5 per game. And today, only have 5 steals, so it hasn't really been a banner night for the Wildcats on that front. But defensively, especially in the paint, they have walled up. The Wildcats started with an 11-point lead in this quarter. They're on a 4-0 run and a 16-2 run across the last 6 minutes across the quarter break.
Let's see if we can stretch that gap a little bit longer so we could at least sit a bit comfortable.
Tough catch on the pass by Murphy. Clark defending out high. Maxey, deep 3, no good.
Rebound,
Great tap by Brooks.
Shortest player on the court.
Imani Dorsey's got the hot hands right now for the Wildcats. She's got their last 4.
Yep.
Brooks back to Hawthorne. Dorsey on the catch. Dorsey against Maxey. Kick out Phillips. Her 3-pointer is short. Right there is Jordan Brooks. Wildcats will reset and just try and run some clock here. Clark, oh, what a move!
That's what I've been looking for all game.
Kayla.
I'm going to say this every time. The more that she uses her body, the more those points will start to fall in line.
Kayla Clark, pivot foot masterclass right there. She
My
blew
gosh.
by Harden. Remember, Mia Harden already on 3 fouls after picking them 3 up in 3 minutes in the first half. This is her first appearance since that first quarter. Maxey pushes off of Hawthorne, creates space, can't hit. And Cassandra with the board. One of the things the Wildcats have done really well in this second half defensively is force Valley into not necessarily bad shots, but not the shots they want.
Yeah, shots that they're not comfortable with.
Clark drives again, spins again. Ah, missed it that time.
It's okay, but she's driving. That's what we're looking for.
Reed races ahead, all the way in, looking for a kick out. Hawthorne can't get there. Harden is fouled by Clark. And that is the benefit of having a 6'4" player like Mia Harden underneath, is you can just suck up any rebound like a black hole down there.
And get fouled for it.
Mia Harden actually not terrible from the free throw line either, 61.5%, although she's only 27% from the floor, which is a little shocking for someone who's 6'4".
Right.
I mean, Kayla Clark is 36.1%. She's not having a great year offensively.
Right.
Mia Harden, the senior center from Bastrop, Louisiana, started her collegiate career at Southern Arkansas Tech, one of 3 players on this Valley team to formerly play for Southern Arkansas Tech. Shadiman McKnight and Jayla Reed, the other ones. Then she played last season at North Carolina A&T, saw action in 11 games, averaging 6.5 minutes per game.
Rebound by Ajane.
The Wildcats still lead 53-37, a 16-point advantage. Ajane Nicholson back in the game.
Driving
Nicholson,
in.
and she gets fouled, and that's the 4th on Mia Harden.
One more.
Harden has only played 5 minutes. She's got 4 fouls and 1 point.
Wow.
Not a banner night for
no.
Harden, the senior out of Bastrop, Louisiana.
Extremely proud of Nicholson, though, coming back from the game that she had from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Very excited to see that she's been all over the floor with her points, defensive and offensive-wise.
Nicholson tonight, before these free throws, 14 points, 17 rebounds, 1 steal.
17 rebounds.
That's a new season high for Nicholson. And the first free throw is good.
I'm sure she'll hit 20 by the end of the game. Still have 6 minutes left.
Yeah.
If not higher.
The Wildcats out-rebounding Mississippi Valley State 39-22, almost doubling them up on the glass.
Right.
And what a turnaround from Thursday night, where they got out-rebounded by Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad. I hope they heard the stream and, you know, me repeating rebounding the entire time. Hopefully it got it to stick this time. We need to get back into that 2-3 zone. We're beating them again.
Good job by the defense to trap Murphy on the baseline. Long 3, no good. Dorsey ahead to
That's
Jordan
great.
Brooks. And she finishes. Great vision by Damani Dorsey.
Absolutely. Using her, you know, view of the basketball court and making sure that everything falls in with her teammates. Back into that 2-3 zone. I'm telling you.
Jones against Nicholson.
I'm telling you, every single time.
Nicholson wins the battle again. Kelly, the freshman. Nicholson on the other end. She's fouled. Oh, and I thought that was going to drop for an and one, but it does not.
I was ready for it. I almost jumped out of my seat, Mike.
Remember, this is just the first half of our doubleheader. About 30 minutes after the conclusion of this game, about 5:30, we'll think. The men's game will start. Wildcats against Mississippi Valley State. Wildcats looking for a 3-1 start in conference play if they get the win tonight. The women, if they hang on here, will go to 3-2 in conference play, be over 500. Coming up at the final media timeout, we'll go back around the SWAC and check out the current scores from around the league. Most intriguing game for me this afternoon is the Battle of the Alabamas.
For
Alabama
you?
A&M bet against Alabama State.
I really want to see FAMU versus Arkansas.
Nation A. Nicholson. It's still not out of the realm of possibility for Nicholson to get a 20-20 double-double.
No,
here.
not at all.
She needs 2 more buckets and 2 more rebounds.
When I was talking to her, that's what we were going for. Hopefully we got some from that.
Which would be incredible.
Yeah.
In a season of incredible games, it might be the most incredible. That's a great move.
That was a great move.
But still missing
Didn't
the
finish
shot
it.
is Reed.
And that's that defense that the Wildcats are being able to push on them.
Valley
What
0
a
for
pass.
7 from the floor in this second half, or the fourth quarter, excuse me. Maxey trying to change that with a head of steam. Up and under, she gets fouled.
They're beating us down the court. This last play, they just beat us down the court again. We need to be able to rush back down onto defense and, set our feet.
And when you're up by 21 like the Wildcats are right now,
You don't think about that.
it's easy to get complacent a little bit.
I think we should never get complacent in the world of basketball.
Maxey's at the line. She's got 4 fouls, by the way, to go along with Harden's 4.
Yeah.
And she misses the first free throw. Deanna Maxey, another Atlanta, Georgia product. We've got 2 Atlanta, Georgia products, the point guards tonight, both Jordan Brooks and Deanna Maxey. Maxey's played in the state of Florida before, played at Indian River State College at the junior college level her sophomore year, averaged 6.7 points and 3.9 boards. But as a freshman, she played in Kansas.
What a
at
great way to
Independence
break
College.
that press.
Scramble underneath for the ball. Lots of collisions. And a foul called on Asiane, I think. Yeah, and that's
Asiane's on her 4th?
It's her 4th, so I think her night might be done here. And she's talking to coach like, I don't know what I did. I mean, fair play to Nicholson. Still playing hard, still going for the ball.
Yeah. I really hope if they do take her out, I'd put her back in the last 2 minutes.
20-point lead for the Cats. There was a long time in this game where Valley stayed right with us, had the lead for a lot of the first half. Maxey goes all the way in, kicks it to the corner. That'll be a long 2 if it goes. It does not.
And honestly, I really do honestly feel like the reason why they have such a lead is I think Mississippi Valley is starting to get tired. I honestly started to think
with that short bench, right?
Yep, I think they're starting to get tired. But if they weren't as tired as they are now, terribly speaking, I think they would still be up with us in the points.
I mean, Diana Maxey has been a yeoman tonight. 34 minutes
all over it
on the floor. She has not come out of the game. Wildcats with a little bit of a weave action up top. Kelly will draw the reach-in foul. Well, that bugs me a little bit. I was talking to Larry, the PA for the men's games downstairs at halftime. I said, the thing that bugs me a little bit is the long hair in women's basketball games. Can't really see the numbers. That's Serenity Eccles, a name we haven't really mentioned so far tonight. She did start, but she hasn't played a ton, just 19 minutes. Eccles commits the foul. Eccles from Memphis, Tennessee, another Independence Community College product out in Kansas. That Kansas junior college system, kind of like the Florida NCAA system, produces a lot of top-tier talent.
But that's what we were just talking about before earlier, that, the talent is there. The talent is absolutely there, everywhere, actually.
Valley aggressively double team and force a bad pass. And they've got an odd man rush. Kiera Jones shuffles it back to Reed. She takes a triple short. Offensive board for Maxey. And Maxey finally breaks the duck. The first field goal of the quarter for Mississippi Valley. They were 0 of 8 previously.
Should have planted their foot back there. I think she backed them up just enough to get to see that court. Don't want that to happen next time.
Brooks.
Nice. Still
what
fouls in.
Concentration for Jordan Brooks. She lost it mid-layup, got it up, and finished without committing a travel. What a play. And Valley just throwing it up from everywhere now, trying to get something going as they're down by 20.
Kind of looked like us in the first half. If I don't say so myself. Open
Brooks
lane.
again. Nicholson.
And one. Let's go.
And more Jim rises to applaud the tremendous performance tonight of Asia Nicholson. My goodness.
I love the little thing she does with her pointing finger. She just drops.
Jordan Brooks also up to a sneaky 10-point night. She's also got 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal.
Wow.
Great game for the freshman Jordan Brooks. Nicholson at the line. No good.
Leading us back to court.
Attacks, fouled, this time by Kamara Langston.
They're using that advantage of being faster than us to get down to the court. We don't have any time to set up our defense.
I'm really impressed with Deanna Maxey. I mean, missing her partner in crime, Shadiman McKnight.
Yeah. Being able to carry, being the lead scorer.
Missing their leading defensive player, Jayla Douglas, as well, both through injury tonight.
Still doing a great job of keeping up.
Maxey's kind of been a one-woman band tonight as she's got 13 and going to the line for more. Somebody we didn't get a chance to talk about that I was kind of excited to, but is missing this game through injury, is Tanaya Morant. And if that last name sounds familiar, yes, she is the younger sister of Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant.
Yeah, really wanted to see her play this evening.
She is unfortunately on the bench with an injury.
Yeah.
Chance for the Wildcats to practice the press break.
And they did it.
And they will be lucky to still have the ball as Serenity Eccles couldn't save it. Into the game for the first time for the Wildcats is the freshman Alyssa Green. She wears number 24. Yep. Another South Georgia product out of Buford High School. And they've taken Asia Nicholson out of the game. So she likely will finish
10 seconds left on the
with
shot clock.
19 and 18. And the Wildcats, again, get bailed out by the whistle a little bit because McDonald is having trouble corralling that ball. They're going to get the foul on Reed. And that's her 4th. And now 3 Devilettes with 4 fouls. The Wildcats currently lead this second half 30-12.
30-12. Wow.
Remember, they only had a 3-point lead at the break.
Improvements. Improvements. We love to see it.
Chanel McDonald at the line. Got her first start of the season tonight. Not a banner night for McDonald. Just 5 points. 1 of 3 from the floor, 3 of 3 from the line.
Right.
Maxey, deep 3, no. Coming up next for the Devilettes, they will head to Louisiana for the Southern and Grambling swing. 3 just short. McDonald the offensive rebound, and she is fouled. Mississippi Valley State, I apologize. Mississippi Valley State is home next weekend against Southern and Grambling State, the same swing that the Wildcats had last weekend. For the Wildcats, they get some rest and then a tough trip next weekend as they go to Mississippi. Alcorn State on Thursday night and defending champion Jackson State on Saturday afternoon.
Alcorn State is always a tough game for us.
I mean, Jackson State may not have the players or the coach that got them that championship.
Well, they still have their grit, though.
But they're reeling after a really tough loss to Texas Southern on Thursday. Speaking of that, I never went around the SWAC, so let's do that now as we start to close out this game. Alabama A&M leads Alabama State in the fourth quarter, 43-39. Bit of a close game there. Southern leads Grambling State 41-32. That's late in the third quarter. Texas Southern continues their hot start to the season. They lead Alcorn 37-27 at halftime. And an offensive 3-second violation is called against Jones, and that'll give the ball back to the Wildcats. And the last out-of-town score, it is 43-20 at halftime. Florida A&M over Arkansas Pine Bluff. I mean, I got to shout out Bridget Gordon and what she's been able to do with Florida A&M, a team that was adrift.
Yeah, very
and lost their coach deep into the offseason 2 years ago. She has turned that program around.
Yeah, and you definitely, I'm glad we got a chance to see it in person as well when we were up in Bragg Stadium.
One other game going on right now, that's Prairie View hosting Jackson State. And the stats for that game are currently not loading, so there we go. No, Jackson State beat Prairie View 67-48.
Well, that was straight
Final
to the
score
point.
there. Here's a three from Alyssa Green. Not good. And a foul called as Jordan Brooks went after that rebound. And Jordan Brooks got a standing ovation from the students behind the goal over there.
What was the name called again? The More Maniacs?
More Maniacs.
They're absolutely going to be here for the men's game. That's happening.
And that's the fifth foul on Serenity Eccles. She is done. Maxie has been taken out of the game. Her night is probably done with 1:41 to go. Maxie 14 points on 5-11 shooting, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And Jordan Brooks continues her good night, up to 11. Kayla Clark off the bench in limited minutes, still not a bad night, 8 points for her.
Yeah.
And a couple of ridiculous post moves.
Oh, I can't wait to see more of those throughout the season, man.
That's the one area of her game that has really developed over her time here at Bethune-Cookman, is her footwork.
Yes, absolutely. Seeing her as a freshman player to a senior playing now, she has absolutely improved a lot, and I just...
Missing the layup is Jones. Wildcats with a minute and a half to go, up 67-41, have limited Mississippi Valley State to just 5 points in this fourth quarter, and it's been their most successful quarter offensively with 20.
Yep.
Brooks on the blow-by. Oh, just short of the layup.
You know, with Mississippi Valley being down by 20 points and a minute left, they still are fighting to the end. You know, making the Wildcats work for those points.
Aaliyah Durham with the layup for Mississippi Valley. And it's going to be Valley ball. I'm not sure what happened down there. But the Wildcats do commit their 18th turnover of the game. I mean, even in a big win like this, there are still things to clean up.
Yep.
And 18 turnovers is definitely one of them. That's a nice move. That's Kaside Snap, the sophomore out of Joliet, Illinois, and a transfer from NAIA Governor's State. Straight on three, in and out for Kamara Langston. Under a minute to go, the Wildcats just waiting out the last 60 ticks of this one. And a foul by Layla Lancaster will send McCullers to the line. Lancaster, the freshman from Lynette, Alabama, and somebody that this coaching staff is really high on, the 6'5" freshman. Hasn't gotten a lot of playing time this year, only 5 total points, and this is only her 6th appearance of the season. The last time we saw Lancaster in the game was back on December 20th against Bradley. But getting a chance to play in a big Bethune-Cookman blowout win. Just getting ready to close this one out. Stay with us. You'll hear from Coach Creighton Del Rosario post-game show. And a shot clock violation as the Wildcats just are running out the rest of the clock. 8.4 left. The Wildcats lead this one 67-46. It will be a much more manageable end to the game than it was on Thursday, where the Wildcats needed a Janessa Kelly hero shot to beat Arkansas Pine Bluff at the death. One last basket by Kyla McCullers for Valley. The Wildcats will dribble it out. This one belongs to the maroon and gold. While it was close in the first half, the Wildcats only led by 3 at halftime, but they blow out Mississippi Valley in the second half. They outscore Valley 35 to 17, as I do some quick maths here in the second half, and they win it 67 to 49. Some fantastic defense down the stretch for the Wildcats as they limit Mississippi Valley State to 30% from the floor and just 26% in the second half. For Mississippi Valley State, Maxey, as I said, was excellent. 14 points on 5 of 11 shooting, 2 of 3 from deep, 2 of 4 from the line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists and a steal. McCullers had 9 on 3 of 7 shooting, 1 of 4 from beyond the arc, and a team-high 3 assists. Jones and Murphy both had 7, Reed had 5, Durenham had 4, Snap had 2, and Harden just 1. Harden also had 4 fouls in 5 minutes of floor time for the Wildcats, or for the Devilettes, excuse me. For the Wildcats, Asian Nicholson, my goodness, 19 points, a season high, 18 boards, her 9th double-double of the season and 4th in the last 6 games. Brooks was also fantastic, 12 points, 4 of 7 from the floor, 2 of 3 from downtown, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Kayla Clark off the bench, not where she's usually used to starting from, but she had 8 points off the bench, 4 of 6 from the floor, with 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Dorsey and McDonald both had 7. Hawthorne off the bench in only 11 minutes had 6 points, 3 of 4 from the floor, 5 rebounds. Phillips had 3, Langston had 2, White had 2. Again, Kayla White held without a field goal, and Janessa Kelly had just 1. So now let's send it down to the floor where Sabrina is standing by with head coach Creighton Del Rosario.
Another amazing game, Coach Creighton. What are your opinions on the second half adjustments in defensive wise?
I thought we came out with a lot more intensity. You know what I mean? That's a really scrappy team. They work really hard, and you got to come out with some intensity and some focus. And so we talked about that at halftime, and I felt our team really did that. Really attacked the basket a lot more. Really was getting on the offensive boards. As well as just trying to lock down on defense, because again, this is a really scrappy team.
Absolutely, absolutely. Talk to me about your team mentalities. What clicked for them?
I think playing together, you know what I mean? Today we had 10 people who played double-digit minutes, you know? And so just knowing it, when you were out there, you got to hold up to a certain standard, you know what I mean? Going hard. I thought that we executed a lot better, and we were a lot more aggressive in that second half. We were trying to figure it out in the first half, and I felt we settled in a lot more in the second half.
Absolutely. Kayla Clark with some amazing post moves down low. How important was it for her to lead the team to change that shift?
Yeah, her energy, you know, when she was checking in, I said, I need you to wake them up for me, you know. Her energy on both ends really makes a big difference. It really starts with her defense. It starts with her communicating with her teammates. She kind of holds a certain standard in communication, and so, you know, if they're not with that, she really holds everybody accountable. And so her being out there, having that energy, it really helped and picked us up a lot.
All right, amazing game again, Coach. Good luck to your next one. Thank you so Absolutely. Much. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Sabrina. Team stats look like this. The Wildcats out-rebounded Mississippi Valley 49-28 and 19-9 on the offensive glass, leading to 11 second-chance points for B-CU and 7 for Mississippi Valley. That's a little bit low if you're getting 19 offensive rebounds. The Wildcats had 17 assists tonight to Mississippi Valley's 10. The Wildcats turned the ball over 19 times, however. The Valley just turned it over 17. Points off turnovers, 19 apiece. So again, things to clean up if you're Bethune-Cookman, even in a win as lopsided as 67-49. Points in the paint, the Wildcats 36, the Devilettes 22. And personal fouls, the Devilettes 22, the Wildcats 18. We'll just get Sabrina back in for her final thoughts on this one. As you can see, the men's teams are already warming up. We've got about 25 minutes until that game, so we got to go quick. Sabrina, I've already been through the stats. I just want your overall thoughts on this afternoon's contest.
An amazing game for the Wildcats. A great game on both teams, actually. Mississippi Valley, who kind of shocked me in the beginning, offensive-wise and defensive-wise. You know, at the beginning we talked about how we didn't want them underestimating Mississippi Valley, regardless of the records. And they did a great job with that in the second half. But that first half, I'm hoping next game that they find their fire as soon as tip-off. That, you know, moving on then, we'll be able to be in a better place than we are, you know, towards the end. Still a great game with both teams.
And for Bethune-Cookman, now 3-2 in conference play. Going into a really tough weekend in Mississippi next weekend, what can they take from a weekend at home and getting 2 wins?
The underestimation things, I think, still stands. I'm looking for more control because now we start to play the harder teams. And we need to be able to keep the team's mentality on a swivel, basically continue to play with more synergy. Also, what I'm looking for, more so in the defensive-wise, I'm hoping to see more zone being played. You know, going forward, Kayla Clark, she definitely shows that she is a leader on and off of that court. And I think the team looks to her for that fire. But I think the individual players itself need to be able to find that fire in the beginning to continue to move forward. Great game from Ajanay Nicholson. I'm hoping that, you know, she finds the median between doing, you know, being too cold and too hot, because we don't want to see her in foul trouble, you know, later in the semester. Jordan Brooks is doing an amazing job as a freshman, and I am so happy to see Hawthorne with that fire. She played great. For me, that's my player of the game, because she played amazing.
The Wildcats win this one 66-7 to 49. They go to 3-2 in the SWAC and 6-11 overall. They sweep the home weekend. Mississippi Valley State falls to 2-15 and 1-5 in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. That'll do it for our first game today. But come on back in about 20 minutes. Go back to the Bethune-Cookman Cat Eye Network homepage on YouTube. Click the men's stream. That's where we'll be in about 20 minutes. For Sabrina Petit-Holm, our producer Lee, and our entire student-ran broadcast crew here at Moore Gymnasium, thank you for watching this edition of Bethune-Cookman Women's Basketball on the Cat Eye Network. We'll see you in 20 minutes.